Hello, my name is Teresa. Gonna have to get used to looking at the camera, not the screen. I'm 50 years old. I've never put anything online before. I think I did a blog when blogs first came out in 2008, and didn't last very long. But I've had a lot going on in my life. I've had a lot of illnesses. I've lost a daughter, and been going through depression and medical issues. And my house has gotten to the point where I don't, part hoarding, which was from the way I was raised and the life that I lived growing up, and part just an utter inability to pick things up physically. And then on top of that, a whole lot of emotional turmoil these last probably 10 years, since my grandmother died in 2014. But certainly for the last 5 years, we lost our daughter Sydney, who's my stepdaughter, but we lost her in 2019 to suicide. She was 28 years old. She was in the military, and it was the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. And it knocked me to my knees. After that, I ended up having a cancer scare where I had a stick lesion. It's a pretty rare condition. It's a bunch of extremely virulent cancer cells that cluster in the fallopian tubes. And if you can get to it quick enough and get rid of it, then chances are you can avoid getting cancer, avoid the ovarian cancer that kills so many women, like more than 50%. I think if you have ovarian cancer and they don't catch it till it turns into cancer, you only have like a 40% chance of being alive 2 years after your diagnosis. So ovarian cancer is really awful. But if you get a stick lesion and you're lucky enough to catch it before the cancer cells break off and get into the ovaries and have all of that removed, then there's a good chance you can remain cancer free. So I had that surgery in 2022, and ended up being 4 surgeries total, because I also had an enormous, like watermelon sized benign tumor. It's another story. We'll get there another day. But I've had a lot of health problems these last 5 years, and as a result, my house is a disaster. So I have never felt so alone and despondent and depressed in my life, physically, mentally, emotionally. I have never been through such a difficult time in my life before. I am lucky. I have the benefit of being married to a wonderful man, but losing a child, I would say even a stepchild, but that just doesn't do justice to it, because I loved her like a child. I loved her like a daughter, and it's just the worst thing anyone can go through. And I just want to start a channel, start some videos, kind of document my experience as I try to come back to life and come back to living again, and figure out how to clean my house up and do all that while I still am suffering from some depression and certainly a lot of physical issues still. But I just thought if I could bring you along on my journey, and maybe if you're suffering through some of the same things or having some of the same issues, or physical issues, mental issues, depression, emotional exhaustion, any of the things that I've gone through, and you can see that it is possible to pick yourself up and get going again, I just want to share that with you, and maybe offer some hope in what might be your darkest time. And in the process, if I can hold myself accountable, and I think by videotaping it and speaking to an audience, I don't even know if anyone will ever listen or hear it, but if I can speak to someone and share what's going on with me, and share how I'm managing to pull myself and my life together again, and if I know that I have to be accountable to that and look forward to that every day, then maybe I will actually get off my butt and do it this time, because it's not the first time that I've decided that I need to get my life together, and I'm sure it won't be the last, but I'm hoping that we can figure this out together. I will be posting more videos as I go. I'll be showing you the things that no one wants to show and no one wants to see, the things that people are too embarrassed to let anyone know. I'll take you into my bathroom, my closets, my kitchen, the room that just has stuff piled almost up to the ceiling. I'm going to let you see the nitty gritty and the dirty of all of it. And I think sometimes you get so covered in shame and so bogged down by embarrassment and shame, where you can't let anyone come over, you can't have company, you can't have visitors. If people knock on the door, you hide because your house is such a mess. And I think you just get so bogged down in covering that up and hiding it like a drug problem, or some sort of addiction or something really shameful. And those aren't shameful either. Those are things that definitely should be brought to light and shared. When you I think with a shared burden is a shared secret is a shared burden. If you share it, it's not so hard to carry. Sorry, my words aren't too good. I'm not used to being on camera. I've never done this before, and I'm going to make mistakes and sound stupid, and that's a big fear, sounding and looking stupid, being embarrassed by the state of my house and the state of my body, and just where I'm at after 10 years of not caring about myself or my life or my living conditions. But I hope that by opening my home and my life and documenting it, videotaping it, and sharing it with you and bringing you along for the journey, I think that I can maybe finally get through to the finish line. Now, there really is no finish line. Life is always difficult, and you always have to fight through it and keep striving and keep moving and keep going. But just get to the point where I know who I am again. I might not ever recognize myself because I'm not the same person, and I will never be the same person that I was before our daughter died. But I would like to feel human again, and to feel alive again, and to feel like part of this world again. And I have isolated myself for so long, hidden myself away from life and from the world for so long. And it's like I put myself in the grave before I was even dead. I just died for all intents and purposes when our daughter died. And we have a new grandbaby. He's a little over a year old, and I've had to come out of my shell for that and experience that. That's been difficult. It's wonderful. It's everything that you could want it to be. Being a grandmother is like the most wonderful thing in the world, but it's also bittersweet because Sydney's not there to see him, to meet him, and that would be her nephew, and she's just not here for that. But I just want to say that I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you listening to what I have to say, and I hope that we can learn some wonderful things and experience some wonderful things together and grow together. Thank you very much.